Distinguished adventurers, welcome to Community Q&A for October 7th. We are here. We are back. Hi, Sean. How you doing?
Hello, Lauren. How are you? I'm good.
I'm doing okay. Welcome to Thursday's Q&A days, because Thursdays are just the Q&A days. This is the day where we answer as many questions as we can and talk a little bit. And, oh, hey, look, we're live. We're live right now.
We did it.
Yeah, so I am the content coordinator for Untitled Champions of the Forgotten Realms. And, Sean, who are you?
I am one of the main support people for Al Champions of the Forgotten Realms and part-time streamer.
Yay! And thanks, Garwar, for the raid. Welcome.
Garwar, let's go.
Garwar! Garwar's raiding us. Arr. Yeah. Oh, we've got to be prepared for a Garwar. So, yeah.
Send him off the plank. It's fine.
We are here to answer questions and talk about candy corn.
No. I actually have not eaten candy corn in a very long time, so I do not know if I like it or not.
You should give it another try. Oh, hey, and Garwar is subscribing. Thanks for the 19 months.
Hey, Garwar.
Aw, thanks.
Only 19 months? Come on.
Only 19 months. he might be subscribed longer than I am, okay? So, I'm
not even subscribed, so it's fine.
But then you can't use the awesome emotes.
I have so many channel points that I can just buy.
Just buy individual emotes.
If I need an emote, I just buy it. So.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We're always trying to come up with new things to do with channel points. But, hey, Mess Duval, thanks for the subscription. Ooh, we have a hype train going. But before we get completely distracted with chat doing awesome things, I would like to say that we do have the lovely Martin in chat as our moderator/producer for the show. Thank you, Martin. Martin is going to be grabbing questions from the chat to pass along to our backstage document. So while Sean and I do try to keep an eye on chat, Martin is there so that if we miss your question, they're grabbing those questions, putting them in a separate document so that we can try to answer them later. Because questions come in fast and furious. And if you miss out on asking a question during this show, stick around through Idle Insights and watch the amazing Todd Kendrick and the wonderful Latia Jaquise as they talk about a bunch of stuff. And then after that, you can chat with the developers and Developer Insights, and you can ask them questions. This is why today is Q&A day. And you just came fresh from Reddit, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, my day is it's like a little bit of tickets in the morning, a meeting, and then 3 hours of Q&A, and then a lunch, and then usually another meeting, and then whatever time afterwards is like filler for like whatever ticket time I have left after the end of the day.
Yeah. Thursdays are answering all of the questions.
Oh God, Thursday's so busy.
What are you having for lunch?
I had not decided yet. I had breakfast today, so that was important. I was like, you know what? Usually it takes me a long time before lunchtime on Thursdays, so like I'll actually eat in the morning, and then I'll figure out what to do later on.
All right. Well, hopefully you have a wonderful lunch, and it'll be a nice little break from all the questions, because while we like answering all of your questions and interacting with the community, every once in a while you just need a moment to not be answering questions.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, Tim knows.
Although my job is literally nothing but answering questions, so,
Yeah, I think a lot of our jobs are turning into that. And I like how Tim knows says he's having questions for lunch.
Yeah. Real Bunny Beast, a candy corn sandwich. We can go ahead and time out Real Bunny Beast for 10 seconds.
No. I am a fan of candy corn. You gotta leave candy corn alone. No right. Candy corn hate in this house.
You can buy it this time, Real Bunny Beast, this time.
Yeah, you should try it if you haven't had it, or if you hadn't had it in a while. If you don't like it, that's okay. Not every candy is for everybody, But yeah, we should. Oh, there's already questions in chat. So, everybody's asking questions about the credits. I'm kind of excited about this. Do you want to grab the first couple?
Yeah. The Lurking Raider. Before I go, I do have one question. How much of the credits in game do I have to view in order to get the achievement? I may have encountered a bug because I watched the entire credits and got nothing except for respect for the devs, which is great. Yeah, I think once you view it all, it should trigger the achievement. If it's broken, make a ticket, and we can take a look. And then drive it was like, the game is unending, but there's an achievement to view the credits? What? You have to get to the end. It's just that simple. Like, Lurking Raider did it. You can do it too. No, if you go into the main menu, there's an option for credits that you can go and click on, and then they'll play a little video.
Main menu, credits right there. Look.
I'll go through.
I have a speed potion on, so the credits go super fast.
Wait,
Super
wait,
duper fast.
Hold on. There I am.
There I am, yay! Look at me. It me. Much better writing, music, sound
Yeah.
effects, additional game design, special thanks. Look at all the special
Wow.
thanks.
That's a lot of people. And done.
There you go.
Credits.
So, and then it just starts over again.
Then it loops, yeah.
So there's my suggestion. Watch the credits during when you're in a when you've got a speed potion going, because then even the credits will go faster.
Yeah. 10 times credit speed, go.
Actually, I do wonder how fast we could get the credits going. I wonder, this is not a speed formation I have going. I was challenged by my Monday stream to try and push my wall because it's been a while.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen here. I also needed to actually finish doing the Netherese Necropolis. So I've got kind of a power group out here, and we're going to see how far we can get. But that's why I got the speed potion going, because I'm going to try... let's see, I got up to like 7, what was it, in progress. 775 is the highest I've gotten. So, and considering I haven't tried in a very long time, I can probably break that. But I was challenged to, so I'm like, we'll give it a try. But if I put together a speed formation, plus some speed potions, I wonder how fast I could make the credits go.
I think all you really need is the speed potions and then like Shandy just to increase it, because it all just increases game speed, right? And then those are the ones you could use to increase the credit speed.
There we go.
Like someone suggested, just brief skip the credits.
Just brief skip the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? Like, it gets to the part where I'm in the credits and then Briv skips ahead and it skips me, and then I got to show up on Tuesday and be like, Briv, what? Why the hate? Come on. I was in the credits and you skipped right over me.
Yeah, it's just Justin's name first, and it just skips over the rest of it, and it just rotates back to Justin.
I mean, frankly, it's all Dupuis.
Yeah.
No,
the backbone.
The entire team. The cheers to the entire team. But thank you for asking about the credits. We appreciate it. I know one of the things that is going to be happening is we're going to be updating the website with all the new people too.
I think it has. I think it's been updated already. I think they're posting some screenshots about it too.
I thought
all
those
the new people we've gotten.
I thought those were like, this is happening now. Did it already happen?
I think so. Hold on, I'm checking.
Yeah, you check, and I'll answer another question from chat.
Oh, maybe it hasn't been pushed yet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are a lot of people.
Yeah.
Including me.
Yeah.
We've
hired like 10 new people, and like none of them made it on the website yet.
Yeah.
Like Clive is still there too.
Yeah. It's hard to let go of Clive. We miss Clive.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Melody asks, hey, Lauren, were you aware that there's a nerds version of candy corn? Yes. Not only was I aware, I have tried it. And okay, so it's good, but it's a lot of sugar. Like, if you thought nerds was sugar, this is sugar on top of sugar. And I remember...
Well, that's like the gummy nerds that are out right now, the D&D ones.
Kind of.
It's just sugar and sugar.
Kind of. So the ones that Malady is talking about, the nerds version, it's not nerds on the outside, but it is kind of like a sugary hard coating with the gummy on the inside. So it's like melt down nerds and then make a gummy nerd and then take some of the meltdown nerds and turn it into a hard candy shell. And by that, what I'm basically saying is take sugar, add some sugar, put some sugar on top of it with a hard sugar outer coating, and then inject some more sugar. I had 4 or 5 of these, and I was a little overstimulated with sugar. So
honestly, I didn't hear a word you said besides just sugar.
It's
just sugar. It's like, oh God, my teeth.
Yeah. Try it. They're good, but be cautious about how many you have, because especially if you're like me, and I know I am, I'm old. My body can't take that much sugar anymore at one time. So try in small doses.
Yeah, blood sugar go brr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blood pressure go up.
Yeah.
All right. Cassie has a question. Mojon charging seems to be stuck at 100%. Bug tracker says intended. Seamus, so a nice bit of realism. Yeah, I think we've changed it so that it just stays at 100%. But if you take 7 days off, then it'll like kind of deplete. I think that was a bit of a change behind the scenes.
So not a bug, but a feature.
Yeah.
Not a bug, but a thing that you can enjoy right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
and
feature.
thank you to Ishval Mal for subscribing. Welcome.
Ooh, thank you.
Enjoy all of the fun Natural 20 emotes, especially in chat, because they make me happy.
17 Seepin says that will the Beholder pet ever be available in store? Oh, Iris? Likely not. Iris is available in the. Is it back to being in Wild Offers?
Maybe.
Because we pulled it from Wild Offers during ICP 1. So I don't know if it ever got put back in. That's a good question.
That is a good question. We will have to find out about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming by beholder pet you mean the familiar. That's why I was grabbing that familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the point.
Strider. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Strider X 2048. How many haunt stacks does Strix need for middle spec to be better than right spec? Oh, that's math.
Oh no, math.
Oh boy, get the calculator out. So middle spec for Strix buffs the haunted ability by 200%, and then the right spec is Smelly Lunch, which buffs her debuff. The exact number I don't know because I think it would differ depending on your gear level. I honestly I don't have an answer to that question. Because honestly, it's whatever fits that point. Like if your champions are dying a lot, haunted doesn't it helps a bit, but if your party's still dying, then you're probably better off just sticking to the right spec and just using the haunted ability as a passive bonus more so than focusing on it.
Yeah, unless you're trying to do something specific. I usually end up going for Smelly anyway because the debuff I find is just more generally useful.
Yeah, I would agree too.
Yeah.
I would agree that the debuff is just generally more useful overall.
Also, back to the sugar discussion, Mystica did say, I didn't hear anyone complaining about sugar, just a friendly reminder to be aware. That's correct. Like, enjoy your sugar, like what you like. And I say that as someone who likes a lot of things that people don't like, which is okay. Like, it's fine. All I'm saying is some of the candy we're going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks because of it being spooky month. Ooh, Halloween. Just be careful how much you consume because a lot of sugar is a lot of sugar.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth, drink
Yeah.
some water, have a well-balanced diet, enjoy some nerds, and then, sit for 5 minutes and see if you get the sugar jitters because it happens.
I definitely purchased a box of candy and I have already eaten it.
That's
my one box of the month. That's all I'm gonna do.
That's the thing I have to be careful about. I have all of the willpower in the world as long as it is not in this apartment. As soon as it's in this apartment, I am eating it. And so for me, it's not about portion control, it's about apartment control.
Yeah.
Once I give in and go to the store and go buy and I have some D&D nerds in the house that I because I found at Fred Meyer, and so I was like,
nice.
now I have to buy them. That's just how it works. And so now I have D&D nerds in the apartment, and guess what? They're not going to be in the apartment long. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. The D&D nerds have been eating like one by one. I'll have like one or two, and then they'll sit there for a couple hours, and maybe I'll have one more, and then the next day I'll have one or two. But I'm just picking it because they're so sweet.
Yeah, but you've got way more. You are a stronger person than I, Gungadin. That is not something I can do. Like, if it's in front of me, I'm eating it. Also, I did look over, and I think it was Stabigail was asking. Let me see. Stabigail the Kobold, what are your feelings on black licorice? I am one of those people who likes black licorice.
No, I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I like black licorice.
It's disgusting.
I like Necco wafers. I like candy corn.
What is that?
What's the stuff that some people think tastes like soap?
Cilantro.
I like cilantro. I'm not one of those people who thinks it tastes like soap.
It's soap.
Well, and some of that is genetic and some of that is personal preference, and that is all cool. I am that person. So yes, bring me. I'm the person you want to go to a Halloween party with or go trick-or-treating with when we were young, because I'm the person who will eat all the candy you don't like.
This is good. I like this. I'll keep this in mind.
Vampire 337 says, why candy corn got to be lumped in with Necco wafers, black licorice, and eating soap? because there are some people who I rattle that all off and they're like, ew, ew, eh.
Yeah.
I also mentioned mayonnaise on Heroes of the Plains on Tuesday, and I literally thought people were going to kick me off of the game. I thought Todd was just going to kill Orkira and be like, well, now you're done.
Well, they don't like mayonnaise? They don't like mayo?
Yeah,
I love
apparently.
mayo. Mayo's good.
I like mayo. I'm not necessarily going to do what Orkira did, which is just, grab a fingerful and lick it. But
No, I wouldn't do that. It's on sandwiches, right?
Yeah, but no, I got a lot of pushback about when I pulled out the jar of the alchemy jug and was just like, and it's mayo time. And there was a moment, the horrified look on Todd's face. It was one of the first times I had ever done something in a game, and I'm like, Orkira's about to die and not get resurrected. All right, we should answer more questions.
Yeah. I do, but Miracle Whip is better. It's pretty good.
I like both. I think
I do like both. I grew up on Miracle Whip, but like to me it tastes the same.
Miracle Whip.
I don't notice the difference between the two of them. So
I can tell the difference between the two, but I like Miracle Whip better when I'm trying to do like the light version of. I know Miracle Whip isn't mayonnaise, but I use it as mayonnaise, and so if you get light Miracle Whip, it actually has a really nice taste to it. But that's me.
Yeah.
Back to questions about Idle Champions.
One quick follow-up is the looking writer. It says, props to Sean for being a fellow Legend of Vox Machina crew member. The Beanie Toque is so comfortable. And thanks for answering the question, but they have to leave. So bye, looking writer. See you later.
Oh, bye. Hey, the next time you wear that, I should wear my Gilmore's Glorious Goods t-shirt. And,
that's one of the few shirts I don't have.
Oh, I love that shirt. I've also got one of the old school red Critical Role shirts it's red and it's got the logo on it, just a Critical Role, which I don't.
Have that one.
Yeah, I love that one. I love it, but I don't get a chance to wear it that often because I am a pale person and red doesn't always look good on me. I wear it and people are just like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I think Garwar has one of like the super OG shirts that they first ran, which means I have to break into his home and take it.
I have. All right, if we're throwing down cred.
Oh, God.
And here's the thing. I will preface this by saying this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Like, whenever you're a fan of something, super cool. Yeah. I do have a sweatshirt that has the original Vox Machina crew, and it's the... I don't remember what those kind of shirts are called, but it's just the list of names with and. So it's like Percy and Vax and Vex, and there is a character on there that isn't on the show anymore.
Oh yeah, jealous.
I mean,
put like a censor bar over that name.
Here's the thing: like, I don't want to wear the sweatshirt anymore because I'm like, this is just awkward. So
yeah, with he who will not be named exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to questions.
Yeah,
black duct tape. Cassius is a follow-up question. Maybe change the Mojon tool so it specifies 7 days offline or some such. That would be a good point. And I will note that for later.
Equalon Patho says, will there ever be an event to get familiars for free? I don't know coming up. I know we try to offer familiars in a variety of ways, and so there's plenty of ways to get familiars without spending any money. You buy them with gems.
Ton of gem ones, yeah.
Yep. There's the patron ones that you can pick up from doing patron challenges. We've done a variety of stuff with familiars.
We've done like the promotional groups with like Steam and Epic and giving away familiars. Idle Champions Presents last year we gave away familiars.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, we give away stuff quite a bit. So just keep an eye out and we'll maybe sometime soon.
Yep.
Tis the close to the season for giving, so you never know. But first, spooky stuff. Alphagrass has a question saying, Krull's Pilfer feat is supposed to work only when the stacks are created. What happens if once the stacks are created, I remove it and then they are transferred to another mob? Are they still affected by the Pilfer feat, which is not slotted? Ooh. I would say yes, they are still being affected by the feats. Because the stacks have already been created. So even if they are moving, they're still created and have taken into account the boost the feat would have given them.
I gotta be honest, that was one of the hard parts about putting together this formation is choosing a couple of the options. Like I'm running an Ashara DPS right now, but I really like using Krull. His DPS his debuffs are good. His debuffs are super good. Yeah. And it was hard to decide on who my main DPS was going to be because I really wanted to use Krull. Especially as I kind of ended up with like a half evil formation here.
Yeah, I guess I have a question. Is why I was thinking about this. Why are you using Ishii? Like, why is Ishii in the formation?
So mostly for the gold find, but I'm open to some other suggestions. Also, Ishii ends up being I have a really good gear on my
love
Ishii, and I've used Ishii quite a bit as a DPS.
Yeah.
So right now they're just gold fine, but I'll probably at some point when I hit a wall, I'll play around with that slot and see who else I can get on in there.
Omen is my for Ashara formations. Omen's my go-to.
Yeah,
'Cause that fits into the half bloods.
Yeah.
For
I could
Ashara.
probably put Omen, like swap it Nerys and then do because like Omen's if I was to just swap with Ishii, then Omen would be kind of in a weird spot for.
Yeah. Well, you can put Omen in Freely's so essentially put Omen where Ishii is, and then swap Omen and on Freely spots.
Yeah.
And then I think if you get Omen on the assassin spec, Ashara will be equal distance away or be far enough away to count for it.
Let's see. Now only buffs champions farthest from him. But it's farthest from him. So
yeah, but if you put them where Freely is, it'll be 3 slots away, which is equal to Briv. So they'll both technically get the assassin spec.
That's true. All right, we'll give that a try. Because yeah, I think Omen's probably a better buffer for this.
Yeah, and then maybe even switching Ishii to Baloth and finding out where a good place to put Baloth.
Well, Baloth, yeah, maybe. Nerys might be offering a better buff at this moment, but we'll
maybe we can work on that.
We can. We'll come back to this in a little bit.
When you get to your wall, we'll play that.
Yeah, we'll play around a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, got completely distracted. I did want to say I see in chat everybody's talking about malt vinegar and curry sauce and all the fun stuff on fries, and I'm here for all of it. Give me the malt vinegar. Give me the I have done just plain white vinegar. I like ketchup. I like mustard. I like curry. I like pretty much the only thing I don't like on fries. I am not a poutine fan. I know. It's painful. I've lost Sean. I've lost him. He's gone forever. Guess what? You're stuck with me, and I can only answer half these questions because as soon as you ask a question that is numbers related. So here's the thing. It is not that I don't like poutine. It's fine. I'm just not a fan of brown gravy.
Martin has a good point. And have you had good poutine?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am married to a Canadian. I've been to some of the best poutine shops in Vancouver before the pandemic. And when it's like some of the fancier poutines that don't include brown gravy, I'm 100% there. It's just the brown gravy. And it's not that I hate it. It's just, not a gravy fan.
Right. We'll have to test. Maybe Luke's been living in the States for too long. He's lost his taste for poutine.
No. Oh, trust me. Like during the panini that's been going on, that's all he's wanted to do is there's a poutine shop in Vancouver that he pines for the way I pine for wings and pumpernickel and really good bagels. Like the two of us just want to go in opposite directions, and he wants to go get poutine, and I want to go back to the East Coast. And what's
the poutine place in Vancouver?
I don't know. But I can find out. He's between me and a wall, and I don't know if he's watching, but here we go. I'm going to text my husband, who is in the other room of the apartment. Right, go ahead and answer another question while I find this out.
Yeah. Coffee answers your question. When doing variants where random positions are cursed, Shandy's speed starts counting down from 60 seconds, where Human and Sentry regains their speed effects as soon as the curse moves from the slot. Is this where he's intended to haven't taken damage? That is intended. Shandy's speed has a 60-second cooldown, whereas Human and Sentries don't have a time cooldown. So yes, that is where it's working as intended.
All right. While we wait for Luke to get back to me about that, I will answer the frivolous, fun question from Mess Duval, who wants to know how much candy is in an Orkira.
Where does Orkira weigh?
What is? That's a good question. Because it has changed. She's almost 7 feet tall. She's fairly strong, but she's lithe. She's not like built. She's dexterous. I don't know how much she weighs. She's probably like 300.
200 pounds probably. Well, at least 250.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, 7 feet tall, wings, tail, the whole 9 yards. The question is not how much candy is in an Orkira. The question is what kind of candy is in an Orkira. And that, my friends, I will leave up to you. And I will go back to poutine. Luke says the name of the place is La Belle Potate.
La Belle Patate.
Patate? Is that really how it's on Davie Street for those of you who are in Vancouver? Potae. I looked at that and I went.
We have one in Victoria here. It is such a hole in the wall. I actually won't. I've had poutine from there. I found it mediocre at best.
Oh.
But it's also like the hole in the wall where you walk in and you can see the dirt everywhere. So it just makes me nervous eating there.
What? See, that's like he loves that place, and I've been to that place, and I thought they had like.
I didn't like it. I didn't think the poutine was that good.
Oh.
Maybe the Vancouver one's a lot better. So
maybe this was
a
also.
big possibility.
It's been a very long time, so things have changed.
Yeah, a friend of mine actually has a burger named after him at La Belle Patate.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Maddie.
Okay. What is this burger?
Hold on. I'm fine. I don't know if they have the recipe. Menu.
Is there anyone in chat who has food named after them? Now I gotta know. Like, is this a thing? I've never had food named after me, but I think that's Orkira's lifelong dream is to have a food named after her, and now it's kind of mine. Anyone in chat? While Sean looks this up, I'm curious. We've got so many people in chat. Someone must have something named after them, food related. Stabigail the Kobold says, I had a beer tail named in my honor at a bar I used to hang out at. Ooh. And JS in this says, I didn't have a food named after me, but I starred in a local pizza commercial. I mean, I think that counts. I think that 100% counts.
Yes, the Chef Mary special. Oh my god, this is a tilted. It's their bell sauce, mayo, mushrooms, onions, and Sasuiko? I think that's what it says.
I feel like we're suddenly in an old Star Trek episode. It's like, the ship's being hit. Lean.
Yeah, I'm like, well, like the menu online was vertical, like all the wrong way. I'm like, I can't read it.
Oh no. Banana Mobster says no food, but I had my own private bottle of Jack Daniels at the bar I used to hang out at. Ooh. And Snobiger says there's a barbecue chain in the States called Mission Barbecue. The one I went to for the first time was meh, but then the one that opened near my town, and it's maybe the best chain barbecue I've ever had. So sometimes the stuff is hit or miss. Yeah. I mean, people make all the difference. So
yeah.
The people that work at a place are 100% way more important than the chain itself.
Yeah.
This is going to be the episode where we answer a question for Idle Champions and talk about food, and answer a question for Idle Champions.
Yeah.
And talk.
That's supposed to be tomorrow, usually, right? Usually the food stream is tomorrow.
I mean, why not both?
That's true. All right, I can't find it, but like, yeah, it's like a burger that has stuff on. I think it has like it's Sasuiko, whatever that is.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it either. I've heard of it, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah. All right. Either way.
And now I want to try it. Chat, do you know what Sasuiko is?
Or it might have been sausage, like a hot dog or something that's on it.
On the poutine?
No, on a burger. It's like a burger.
Wait, it's a hot dog on a burger?
Yeah.
Is this like when you stick a chicken in a turkey and it's Turkception? It's a turducken.
A turducken, yeah.
Yeah, is this?
I've always wanted to try a turducken.
How do you stick? Do you just stick a hot dog on top of like the do you cut it up? Or is it just like sticky?
You kind of like cut it. You cut it in half, right? That's my best guess.
Dan's J4B says Community Q&A is the food show and Griddle Champions is the anime show. I mean, yeah. I mean, snacks and video games, right? They go hand in hand.
Oh yeah, the saucillon is just French for sausage. So
okay.
It's a thick, dry cured sausage in French cuisine.
Okay, so it's probably like the patty sausage, and so it's a patty on top of a patty.
It is still a beef patty with this like French cured dry sausage on top of it.
Okay, but like there's just the Jenga of that makes a little more sense because I was thinking of just a round sausage hot dog and how that would work on top of a hamburger. But if you're talking about a sausage patty, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. I actually think it's just like sliced sausage. Like you get like kind of like a round sausage that's like sliced into like thin strips, kind of like a salami or like a pepperoni that's layered on top, and then adding stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway,
it's like
back.
a charcuterie.
Ooh, I miss charcuterie. I miss eating cheese. Oh, cheese is so good, but
I love cheese.
Yeah.
All right. Emote has a question. Any news on the balance pass? Very sad to see the Oxventure duo be so poorly tuned. Oh, that is sad.
Oh, that is sad. What happened?
I mean, like, so there's like the whole like when champions come out, if they're not the top tier, they just don't get used. I think was what the kind of the common perception of champions are. It's like if they're not Averin or Krull or like Zorbu levels, then a lot of people use them. But
Which is sad because once again, like if you're at the point in where you have multiple adventuring parties and you're doing all of the different patron challenges and you're doing adventures in where it's going to restrict the kind of champions that you can use, then putting some time and effort into some of those other champions is well worth it because there's going to be times, Trials of Mount Tiamat, there's going to be times in where your favorite group of champions are not going to be available. You're not going to be able to pull out Zorbu or Ashara or Averin because
like the Wisdom 10 restriction in Tiamat just like destroys the Ashara formation immediately. Because you can't use Ashara.
So it behooves everybody to take some time and not ignore some of those champions that you don't get to use as often because, hey, you never know when all of a sudden Tiamat is going to require you to use Regis. Yeah.
They are tuned to beat the content in the game. Whether or not they are tuned to help you push your wall up to the 1,000 or plus, that may not be the case, but they're tuned to be able to like beat the content you have to fight in the game.
Yeah. Oh, also, welcome to the new people who are coming because of the alert in game that just went off. Welcome. This is community Q&A because Thursdays are Q&A days and where we do our best to answer lots of questions and also get distracted talking about food. So if you clicked on very, very, very quickly. I mean, listen, you have to balance numbers with sugar. That's just how it works. So we've been chatting about a whole bunch of questions coming in from chat. If you do have a question, make sure you put question in big capital letters at the beginning of your question so the wonderful Martin can grab it and put it in our backstage chat here so that we don't miss it. And come and hang out with us. We are just talking about a bunch of different things as far as the game is concerned. I'm trying to push my wall and we're having a bit of fun. That's the code. If you're looking for an Electrum chest, right there, go get yourself an Electrum chest. And if you have food named after you, if you have food or drink, we want to know. We want to know about it. Go ahead and put that in chat.
Yeah. Silly Simon has the best question on the list today. Is Sean cosplaying Chef Krull in Grill Champions, or was the skin made later? Is your cup okay? Or the ding?
Oh yeah. Hey, I have 2 cups here. I have all the drinks, but I'm okay.
Oh, okay. I am not cosplaying Chef Krull. I pioneered the chef hat. No, actually, Donar did, really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That would be an interesting cosplay. I wonder if I can find like a turtle like thing and try to make a mask out of it.
I mean, cool. You go find a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and do a little bit of bodging, right?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Zwayne Z77 says candy can be in my house for months unopened. If it's opened, gone. Yeah, I mean, it has to be in the apartment for me to give into it, but that's impressive that you can actually have it in the apartment and not go after it because that I can't do that. I don't have the self-restraint for that.
Yeah, Krull's more like a snapping turtle.
Yeah, well, yeah, Krull is nasty. I think Krull actually is a snapping turtle. But I mean, you can at least, look at that beak.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking of how to like 3D print that.
Ooh, oh yeah.
Carl Lauren's the best kind of friend to have, the one that eats the candy you don't like so it doesn't go to waste.
Cheers to that. Like, get yourself some friends who like a variety of candy, right?
Just get yourself some friends. How's that?
Wait a second. Now I feel bad. Hold on a second. Am I just people just want me as a friend just so that I eat their leftover candy?
No.
What?
No. There's so much more. So you can play music too.
I can play music,
There you
but
go.
I can't eat candy and play music at the same time.
You know, don't limit yourself, Lauren.
I wish I could say that I could eat candy and play music at the same time, but that is structurally impossible. On a related question, Rectone22, how's the Cookie Baker Kobold going that you were going to create? Oh, they're so I'm not going to give a lot of details on that Kobold because I have plans for that character. But for those of you who missed it, the suggestion of a kobold who is also a baker came up in one of my other streams, and now I've created an entire PC and their family, and I have plans for where that character is going to show up. I will let you know. Francis Cog K.
Before you go into that one, someone, Ouchie Bug, was saying that they had a burger named after them. It was called the Meissen Burger with lettuce, cheese, tomato, pickles, mushroom, and kangaroo.
Okay, now
That
I
is
need to know
cool.
how kangaroo tastes. Holy moly.
That's pretty neat. That
Wait.
is like
So the burger was
so the patty, I think, is kangaroo. It's kangaroo meat.
Okay.
So it's just like it sounds like a normal burger, but with kangaroo meat instead, which is
Okay.
like wild.
That is, I mean, it's wild to us in North America.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as wild
Yeah,
in...
and we're getting yeah. So kangaroo is okay tasting, can be tough. It's leaner beef, a bit sweeter than normal. It's pretty good. That sounds like it's pretty good. I feel like I've seen kangaroo meat at Thrifties, but it's in like the frozen meat section. So
I'd give that a try.
it's found in Hoppy Meals. Is it a joke, Infinite Monkeys? Are
I
you making
hope it
fun
is.
of the food here? No.
I hope it is. I hope it's a joke. Actually, no. I hope it's real. I 100% hope it's real. Oh, yes, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a good one.
That actually kind of sounds, the way kangaroo is described, that sounds a little bit like venison.
Oh, yeah.
Being leaner and a bit gamier, but can be sweeter depending on when you have it. So
Yeah. So do you have to pair kangaroo meat with a hoppy beer then? Thank you. I'll be here tomorrow too, and next week.
we'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
what is, before we go on, then I have to ask Sean, what is the most strange meat you have tried?
Oh man, nothing. I have not tried anything out of the norm.
Because of lack of access, or because not interested in trying?
Lack of access mostly, and like the fear of like cooking it properly.
That's fair. Yeah, most of the stuff that I have tried it has not been things that I have prepared myself. I've either had them at a restaurant or they've been in jerky form. So, so gator, I think, is probably the strangest I have had. But I lived in Florida for a couple years, so I've had a bunch of different versions of gator. I did try buffalo, but that was jerky. Garwar says strangest that they've tried is frog legs or rabbit.
You see what Martin's saying? Most of their life, every Christmas Eve, they have cow tongue for dinner. Wow,
Really?
interesting.
Okay, cow tongue. All right, is that a tradition that I don't know about? Is that
Pickled cow tongue?
Okay.
No, you had me, and then you lost me.
You had me and then you still had me?
Yeah.
All right. Lutefisk is I've heard some things about lutefisk, but I am Jewish, so I also like gefilte fish. So I feel like one of these days when I open up that can that is supposed to make everybody very upset, I will be okay. I have not had a chance to try escargot. Spindler Hades is talking about snails in France straight from the shell. Oh, straight from the shell. Ooh, raw snails. Oof. Deadman43212 says porcupine is also a very lean meat and good in small quantities.
Oh.
Interesting. I didn't even know porcupine was an option. Spindler Hades also says pressed ox tongue is a standard thing in England.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
I mean, all I have is poutine here in Canada, so we don't really get a lot of extra stuff. Especially on the West Coast, right? So.
I mean, I'm also a sushi fan, but I don't find any of the fish or the shellfish that they offer in sushi to be weird. So, there might be some sushi that I've had that someone would go, really? What? I do find octopus absolutely delicious. And I know there are people who hate me for that because octopus are fairly intelligent, but they're yummy.
Octopus are like scary smart.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're super smart. All right, I'm sad now. Let's go back to questions.
Yeah.
I've made myself sad.
Yeah. Francis Kogic says, is there a way to connect Steam Idle Champions to iOS account? There is not. Once you're on a platform, you're on that platform, really. So. Cassius since Here of the Plains got mentioned, a non-serious question. If you summon a Tarask in an elemental plane of fire, will the alchemy jug be able to make sufficient barbecue sauce?
It depends on how much time you have. And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
how much meat is on a Tarask?
A lot. I mean, a Tarask is considered a gargantuan creature.
Yeah,
also,
I think so. So that's what, like 30? That's like 30 by 30 or 40 by 40.
Yeah,
let's. Grids.
I'm just gonna look. Yeah, gargantuan monstrosity, considered a titan. So yeah, you could probably feed an entire city on a Tarask.
For like a month, maybe.
Probably. I mean, it depends on how much of it you could pickle. And then, so the question is, because the regular alchemy jug doesn't make barbecue sauce, but I know there's those other alchemy jugs that
make custom one.
Yeah, well, like the one that Orkira has is the blue alchemy jug, and so it makes hot tea as well as all of the other standard stuff. Let me check out. Does the
Wait?
orange...
There's more than one alchemy jug? I thought it was just the one type.
So there's the original one, and then Candlekeep Mysteries came out, and it has a couple different versions of the alchemy jug that are all different colors, and most of them do the same basic things, but have changed a couple things. So, for example, I'm looking at the orange one right now, and it includes soy sauce.
That's awesome.
I know it's so most of them include like beer, mayo, oil, 2 versions of water, and maybe wine, and then the other colors do other things. So I don't know if the alchemy jug, it doesn't look like the other colors make barbecue sauce. So you would have to use the alchemy jug to make like the base for the barbecue sauce.
I was gonna say, could you use the 3 different jugs to create your own sauce?
Some of it. You would have to use some other ingredients from outside the alchemy jug, but you definitely could. It's possible. I mean, between honey, mayo, vinegar, oil, you soy sauce, you've got options. You've definitely got
your own
options.
seasonings, and you're good to go.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'd like to give it a try. I don't plan on summoning the Tarask on the elemental plane of fire because that's just asking for trouble, right?
Well, summoning a Tarask in general is just asking for trouble.
Yeah,
like, good luck with that.
Here's the thing. Heroes of the Plains right now is in a very precarious position, and the entire universe is ending. So we're considering some very, very interesting options for things to do next.
Wow, in my session, I'm just fighting bandits. Okay.
Nope. We've the blood war has come to an end, and the demons have won. And there's treachery afoot, and gods are dying. But we're level 17, so this has been a campaign that's been going off and on for like 3 years now between a whole bunch of different shows. So
yeah. At 17, world ending is kind of expected.
A little bit, yeah. But it's a bit much.
My friend was saying, like, one day you're rescuing a cat from a tree. The next day you're killing gods.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what it boils down to.
Yeah. At least in Heroes of the Plains, there's been some fairly large chunks of time. I have played D&D campaigns in where when you take a moment to think about, okay, what session 1 all the way till this final session, how much in-game time has it been? It's been months.
Oh, yeah.
It has literally only been months. And even on Heroes of the Plains, they'll be like, oh, that happened years ago. And I'll do the mental math, and I'll be like, no, that was 4 days ago.
Dude, that was last week.
In-game time, that was 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Briv every once in a while has been like, that happened 3 years ago. And I'm like, Briv, that happened 2 weeks ago.
It happened 3 years ago in real time, in reality.
I mean, yeah, it can feel that way, and it can feel the opposite way. Anyway, we should get back to questions. Thank you, Martin, for grabbing all these questions, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Martin. Rust Bucket 533. What are the requirements to unlock Mojon cores and setting up multiple adventuring parties? So that requires you to have 2 champions at least in every slot. Once you have 2 champions in 6 slots, the it'll show as like, hey, it's here, like as kind of like a reminder. And then once you get 2 in every slot, you'll be able to unlock Mojon for the first time, and then afterwards, I think you need 3 in every slot to be able to access Split the Party 2 to get the 3rd Mojon core.
Yeah, and Split the Party is not easy. Definitely come by the Discord or the Reddit or any place if you need some suggestions and help on getting that done. I know Garwar's done a few guides on Split the Party and Split the Party 2. If you're looking for help, especially when there's a free time gate weekend and you're having that moment of who do I pick from, that's often a moment in where you're picking a specific champion just to have them in a slot so that you have 2 in that slot. So people often ask, why would I do a time gate champion and not go for these top champions like what we were talking about before? Well, here's an example. If you need to get more than 1 champion in a specific slot, you might be unlocking a champion you wouldn't normally go for, but they're in a slot that you want. So think about those kinds of things as well before you pick your champion in a time gate, because you might not want to go for the one that seems like the obvious top runner. You may want to go for one that's going to help you out the most in what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. And like everything, Garwar has a guide for that.
Yep.
So make sure to check those out.
Yep. Garwar's guide for everything.
Yeah. Lodux says, mine got lost. I had a latte named after me at the cafe in my law school. Oh, nice.
That's pretty epic. A latte?
At law school?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Double whammy there. Good job.
Yeah.
Ezel Daft says, I'm at Avernus with 200 T favorite, 200 trillion. I think that's little T. Favorite, I have a time gate ready to open. Which champion ought I pick? Well, like we just said, and like, those kind of questions, it's kind of hard for us to answer here, because if I don't see your kind of access to your account, I don't know what champions you have. So I can give you like, Averin, Okira, Briv, Shandy, Deacon, and like those are just the top ones. But maybe you already have them all, and you need something else. So the Discord is the best place to go for that.
Discord.gg/idlechampions. Come to the Discord. Come to /idlechampions. There's several places where you can come and you can say, here are the champions I got. People like take screenshots of their set of champions. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here are the 3 that I got my free time gate, or I'm opening up a time gate. What do y'all suggest? And you can get some really good suggestions that are tailor made for who you have and what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. C squared 1901. Would you ever consider a swap feature of wild offers, like get rid of these 20 gold chests from Mojon chests, and I'd buy it kind of swap? Oh, it's like I don't really want like this potion or like this, like kind of the secondary items, but like keep the main item.
I mean, we could pass it along. I don't know if there's anything like that being considered, because you find out that even if you don't need stuff right away or immediately, that they become useful later on. Mojon chests being one of them. Like, I didn't need very many Mojon chests when I started out because it didn't exist. But now, like, that's all I buy from the patron shop.
Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Why?
Tana Lubavoita? Yeah.
There you go. No, I think you did well.
I'll say, why me? Says, talking about music, why can't we add our own songs to the jukebox in game? Because that's a lot of development time to be able to add in your own outside music.
Yeah.
We want to keep the jukebox kind of strictly for like the bardic inspiration stuff that gets released. So that's most of the reason why. The biggest reason is that's very, very difficult to do. And like if you just mute the game and play Spotify behind it, then that's just an easier way to do it.
Yeah. It's just the jukebox is there for our music to offer you something else besides the regular background music. So
Dun.
It could be a cool feature, but it's one of those things in where the I can imagine the tech to make that happen would be incredibly difficult, where it's fairly easy, like Sean said, to just mute the game and to have a different tab open. And for other things to come up. But we're glad you like the jukebox feature, and hopefully you're really enjoying Bardic Inspiration, because that's an awesome. I usually have the game muted myself because I'm listening to like a Twitch stream or something, but I often have the instrumentals playing from Bardic Inspiration because they're really, really good.
Totally. Flanagan, why are more dwarves good guys? Because they don't look down on people.
So, food, idle champions, suggestions, and puns. That's where we are today, right?
At most of our streams, to be honest.
Infinite Monkeys asks, if I wish really, really hard, will there ever be saved formations that don't require specific familiars? That would be so nice.
That has been a long-standing bug for a while.
We know about that.
It shouldn't require you to have specific form. It should just grab from the list. So it's something we know of, and it's on our list. I should probably just poke Jacob about that one again.
Yeah. It is a known issue. It is something we are working on. I know that's sometimes frustrating to hear because we all want that moment and where, all of our familiars come along with us, or it just picks different familiars. But yeah, thank you for your wish. We will hopefully have good news to tell you when it comes true.
Hopefully you didn't use monkey paw. Then we're good.
No. Well, wishes in general in D&D are always, classically, they never go right. They are either a monkey's paw or they are you get what you wished for, but then you get a whole bunch of other problems. So
yeah. Dubious Dub. For my entire life, I thought an ox was just an entirely different species than a cow. Turns out it's the job title of a strong cow. Really? I thought it was like a whole other. I thought oxen is different.
I thought so too, but that's what Google is for.
Ox is a male bovine trained and used as a draft animal. Huh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Today on Community Q&A, I learned.
You learn something every day.
Yeah. And then you cut out that tongue and then you pickle it. Now you have pickled cow tongue. Wow.
Martin's favorite. Iron UK question, probably for the Binwin show. Okay, we're stopping there then. No. How come Binwin's friend item is a duck called Princess Duckersheim and not a crow called Crowy?
I don't know, but
Star Wars, do you know?
I think that's a Binwin's Minions reference. I haven't read that comic in a while. But yeah, I think that is specifically probably a Binwin question.
Yeah. That one I am not sure about.
Monty Fromage. Wait, I'm going to grab this one because
you got that one.
I thought about this.
Oh.
Yes, I have. I don't have a great answer, but I've thought about this. Monty Fromage wants to know, how do you cook a Tarask? Would say the wizard could sear it with a fireball, but the meat would just reflect the spell back. This is true. So, for those of you who don't know, the Tarask has this. One of the reasons it is so deadly is it is resistant to magic. I'm gonna pull up the specific.
It's like any line spells get a chance to be reflected, and on a D6 roll, if it rolls a 6, it gets reflected back at the caster.
Yeah.
I think is the thing.
Yep, I've got it right here. Reflective Carapace. Yeah. I'll go into my voiceover mode here. Anytime the Tarask is targeted by a magic missile spell, a line spell, or a spell that requires a ranged attack roll a d6. On a 1 to 5, the Tarask is unaffected. On a 6, the Tarask is ineffective, and the effect is reflected back at the caster as though it originated from the Tarask, turning the caster into the target. Dun dun dun. So,
Imagine Disintegrate, though, right?
So here's the thing. So that's Magic Missile, a line spell, or a spell that requires a ranged attack. Fireball is a save. Fireball is a saving throw.
Fireball is a line spell, though. Because it does say it creates a line, I think, that goes in then explodes at the end.
See, I thought the line was like wall of fire, which creates a line of fire, because fireball is an area of effect spell that causes a save. Anyway, the real answer to this is once
it's a bead. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because it's a little bead that goes up. But the actual answer to this is you kill the Tarask and then it loses all of its things because it's dead. Once it's dead, you can cook that meat however you like. It's still going to be really difficult to harvest, and there are all sorts of fun D&D stuff out there in order to deal with harvesting Tarasks and things like that. But yeah, that is the true answer is once the Tarask is dead, just like any other creature, it becomes a body and it loses all of its magical properties and everything. So, sorry.
Yeah, I always imagined like the fireball to be like a little thin red line that gets to the end and then explodes as like the beat at the end.
I mean,
my imagination of it kept that around there.
And that's not wrong. That is super cool. That's the way that works. I've imagined my fireballs as a little firefly that I have in my palm, and it just flies up and goes.
Oh, this is cute. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What? Oh no, what?
Oh, just that's the idea of this is like a cute little firefly, just like, oh, it lands in your finger and then just and explodes in your face.
Yeah. You know, when you cast a lot of fire spells, you got to think about that kind of thing.
That's true.
Oh.
Moloch says, your situation has crossed the Godzilla threshold. Situations can't possibly be made worse by summoning Godzilla to fight the monsters.
I disagree. I think the situation can always be made worse. And the assumption here is if you have Monster A that is destroying the world, if you've got a Tarask, that summoning Monster B will cause the two of them to fight. And that is a wonderful Godzilla assumption that I love so much. But the reality is there is a good chance Monster B, unless it is a creature that is incentivized in some way to go after Monster A, is just going to go wander off and go destroy stuff over there. It's like, and so now you got Monster A here and Monster B over there. Or, you work with a being of incredible power who is maybe unscrupulous or has bad morals or is okay with some of the world being destroyed. And you make a deal with them and then they break that deal and then they just go off and now you've got two problems. So, one problem at a time.
Yeah. Commander Xander, are we getting a new slot 2 soon? Someone said they had mentioned one was coming soon. Maybe. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Keep an eye on our socials and keep an eye on the blog, especially, and come to our Discord. When stuff gets announced, that will be the place to see it. Right now, we are focused on Dahani. Yes. And I'll actually grab this next question. Tagama says, what factors go into figuring out which slot a new champion will live in? Lots. So I will use Orkira as an example here. Because why not? So say you've got a champion who's got a skill set, who has friends who are also in the game. You want to place that champion, and this is very like surface level of how deep this goes and what the devs think about when they're trying to place champions. You want to keep them out of any slots that their friends are in. So Orkira, you don't want to put her in a slot that also has another Heroes of the Plains, because otherwise now you're having to pick between Heroes of the Plains characters, and if they've got buffs for each other, that kind of sucks. You want to keep her out of a slot that has other champions that have too close of a skill set to what she has. You want to look at her race and her class, and you want a slot to have a variety of different creature types, races and classes in that
Alignment.
slot. Yep. You want
Gender.
different alignments. You want a slot to have as many different options as possible to help with a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about with like patron challenges and all sorts of things, so that you're incentivized to want to use multiple champions in that slot for a bunch of different reasons. And so right there, like, just thinking about the other slots that have Heroes of the Plains characters, Penelope's in 12, Averin's in 11, Freely is here, Alindra is here, Briv is here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already got 5 slots that Orkira couldn't be in. And that doesn't even get into all of the other stuff. So there's a lot that goes into deciding. It's kind of an imperfect science, and while we can't go into all of the details, I will say that it is something the devs think about really, really hard when they're deciding on where a champion goes.
The design document essentially just lists out all 12 and goes, here, maybe, here, maybe, here, maybe, and then like we'll then cross out because like, there's another healer here, or there's another dragonborn here, and it goes on like that. So it's a bit involved.
It is, and there's no perfect answer for it, and then you have people like me who sit here and are like, but I don't want Dahani in slot 1 because then Orkira can't be in the same formation as Dahani. But that's just me. So yeah, it is a rough thing to try to figure out, and we're always doing our best. And as the slots fill up, as we get more and more champions in each slot, it actually kind of gets harder and harder and harder, because now you have more other champions to contend with. So
Yeah.
that is an excellent question with a lot of answers.
Yeah. Ouchie has a question. It says, how often do the free time gates tend to happen? It's usually about every 3 weeks. So every time the event ends and you have like a content week with like for Icewind Dale or I guess in this case Icewind Dale or Witchlight, you'll also get a free time gate weekend along with that, and then usually the following week after that will be the next event.
Yep.
So like event for 3 weeks, content updates, time gates, event for 3 weeks, content, rinse repeat.
With one time in the year, and it just happened. So if you're new to the game, you just missed it. One time in the year where the real world calendar and the Faerun calendar don't quite meet up, and there's 2 time gate weekends in a row because it's the end of one year and the beginning of another. But otherwise, what Sean just said is good. Oh, and also, I will take a moment and welcome all the new people who are coming in. Welcome to Community Q&A. This is one of the many ways that you can get questions about the game answered in this case, Twitch format. We're on until 1 o'clock, and we're answering questions from chat. We've got the amazing moderator, Martin, in chat grabbing your questions. We're talking about in-game stuff, food, every once in a while a pun. More candy talk. This show is going on until about 1 o'clock, where we will be switching over to Idle Insights, where Todd Kenrick is going to be interviewing Latia Jakis, who is the content creator behind Dahani, who is amazing, and I'm sure that is going to be awesome. So there'll be a tiny break in the Q&A to have Q&A about Dahani, and then we'll go back to game Q&A, and where Developer Insights will be starting at 2 o'clock. With 2 of our preeminent designers for this game, and where you'll get a chance to ask the devs directly. So stick around.
Give them the super hard questions.
Yes. Ask them about candy corn.
Yeah. Grand Shogun 35 says, question, does anyone know the best champions for slots 7, 9, and 12? 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I got asked this question earlier, so why don't you answer first, because I know I got asked this.
All right, Freely, Canterbury, and Frida I think are my top 3 there.
All right, here's
with
9.
Freely being with Freely being the top one there. Slots, is that 9? Yeah.
Yep.
Slot 9 would be Ayla as my number 1 pick, followed by Morgane. I haven't used Shaka a lot, but I think at the time I used him, he's been pretty good. So I'd go like Ayla, Morgane, Shaka. And then 12 is like Zorbu. I love Penelope, she's cute, but Zorbu.
Oh, all right.
Zorbu, and then Melf is great beginner speed if you don't have any other speed champions.
All right, my top 3 in 12 is going to be Penelope, Celise, and Nerys. And some of this may be just based on what I like having in this slot, but I really like having the buffers there, and I think Celise is an excellent tank.
She's really good, yes.
Yeah, so I think those 3 are really, really good. And my Zorbu is just not that leveled up. So if you're a little later to the game and you don't want to put the time into Zorbu and you've got other DPS that you can use, then I think, you go for Penelope, Celise, and Nerys. For this slot, I would recommend Shaka, Lazapaz, and Birdsong, actually. Although Ayla is pretty high up there.
Ayla is a phenomenal tank.
Ayla's a really good tank.
I think it's like Briv, Ayla, and Tiro, I think, are the tank hierarchy.
Yeah, Ayla is a really, really good tank. I like Lazapaz because Lazapaz fits into a bunch of formations and variants that a lot of people in this slot can't. So Lazapaz is really useful. And Birdsong has become a really good DPS for me, especially if I'm running a bunch of Heroes of the Plains at the same time. So I've really enjoyed Birdsong. And then in this slot, Freely, Farida, and Caddy. Well, so it'd be Freely, Farida. I'm going to say Black Viper. I'm going to say her, but I have really good gear on Black Viper. And I've leveled her. You know how everybody's like, Zorbu, but Zorbu's got to be leveled up? I'm going to say Black Viper, but Black Viper's got to be leveled up. You got to have all of those gems. But if you're like me, and I know I am, I have all the gems. I have leveled her up. So those would be my 3. But I do agree on the Freely.
Yeah. Freely is a great great for like earning favor, great debuffer.
Mm-hmm.
He's just great overall.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, in all of those, if those are your top 3, then continue to fill out the rest of the roster because, like we've been talking about, there are plenty of variants and formation requirements and trials in where you're going to need a deep roster.
Yeah. Someone's saying, isn't it Lazaps and not Paz? I think it's Lazaps.
I think it's Lazaps. I don't know why I keep saying Lazapaz. It's a thing.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, you know what? You should. You should, because I should pronounce that correctly. Lazaps.
Lazaps.
Lazaps. Yeah. I'm going to practice.
Lazaps. There's still a couple of names I have trouble with, too. So don't worry. Like, I don't know if it's Makos or Makos.
It's Makos.
Makos?
Okay. That I'm 99% sure of. I've heard D&D people say Makos.
The caption gets Makos like correct.
Yeah.
It was getting Lazaps correct too.
The captions are surprisingly good.
No, that's not
it only gets Orkira every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there we go. It misses. It gets the hidden R in there, but it doesn't always get the word in one place. But it's Garwar, not Mac OS. Yes.
It's Makos, not Mac OS. Yeah. I pronounce it Dritzt.
I mean, here's the answer I always give when it comes to D&D stuff. What does your DM say? That's the way you should pronounce it. Are you the DM? Then however you pronounce it is the correct way.
Yeah. XCWee says, will every champion get skin at some point? I would hope so. We aim to. Mystica says, how does Point's count 'em off work? I've been struggling with that achievement. Point.
Oh, Point.
Yeah.
Spiky Boy.
Yeah, where's Smelly Boy? There's Smelly Boy.
Smelly Boy. Oh, I think of him as Spiky Boy.
Yeah. Oh, he has that. He has the ability called "Can you smell that?"
Yeah.
What was the achievement?
While you look that up, I will answer more questions. Ezeldaft asks, is there any crossover events planned? I love those. Are you talking about in the game or are you talking about on stream? Because I don't know of anything in specific, but technically our entire game is a crossover event considering we've got characters in here from all sorts of streams. I'm interested in what kind of crossover you are interested in, so I would love to know more. Martin wants to know, are you excited for... So Martin calls it 5.5e. Here's the thing with the next D&D thing. We don't really know that much about what's coming out. I am excited for anything that they're going to be putting out. I don't know if it's like a 5.5e or a new edition or just more of 5th edition or what they're going to be doing. But I am excited that they're doing a lot of the updates to the current ways that a lot of things work to make it better, easier, and more inclusive. So it's less about whatever they're going to call it as far as if it's an update or a 0.5 or a new edition. And I'm just excited about a lot of the changes that they're making. The cleaning up of stuff. Like I think it's going to make a lot of stuff run a lot easier. I think it's going to offer a lot more variety to player characters. I am excited for all of the details, but we don't know that much. So
yeah, I saw a potential a big nerf to counterspell with the way the new monster stats blocks are being created.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, the way that they're saying that if a monster casts a spell, that it's considered an innate ability and not actual spell casting, and so is not affected by counterspell. I don't think it's a huge nerf because I think the characters that you really want to use a counterspell on are not those kind of monsters, are not monsters who are innate casting. You're counterspelling other casters who are actually casting spells. And that update shouldn't affect them. So this is for actual monstrous creatures and not for like the lich that comes along or, other creatures and other like the big bad boss who has spell casting. So yeah. we're gonna have to see more of the specifics, but I don't think that's the end of the world. I also, I don't think it's that big of a deal to quote unquote nerf counterspell, because anything like that feels like it's so needed in a game that you have to have it, like that kind of sucks. That sucks if nobody wants to take, if no one's playing a wizard and you maybe have a bard, but they don't want to take counterspell. Like, to feel like you have to take a specific spell just to be ready for stuff so that you are effective, like, eh.
Yeah. For the print option, for the print, the achievement, if you go to it, make a formation that doesn't kill any mobs, let them tank up, let them, like, your tank up a whole bunch. Then if you use Plant's ultimate and then add in a DPS champ and to kill them off, that should help kill them. That should help, like, trigger the achievement. So if that doesn't work, you can always check in with the Discord and Reddit. So I searched up the Reddit to figure out what it was. So.
And I'll go ahead and put the Discord in chat. Discord.gg/idlechampions. Join us and get all of your questions answered when we're not on stream.
Yeah. Scythe 2 question: could a feature be added to transfer formation layouts between different adventures and chapters? So now I've found a variant where I've set up a party using that shape before, but with Formation Manager I have no access to my previous save. Well, the formations, if it's the exact same formation, it should be saved there. So, like, if you do it in an event, but then you open a time gate for that one, it should be there. But if it's different in any way, the formation won't be saved because it's saved to specifically that grouping. Flanagan, warrior, I swear I'll have my revenge for the death of my brother. Elf, you have my bow, dwarf, and my axe. Necromancer, and your brother.
Ba-doom boom.
That's good. That's a good one. Messi Duval, question: with the recent introduction of the blessings regarding skins for champions, will we get new ones, especially for the newer champions in the game? Oh, we're always making skins. We have a necromancer on point making skins.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's the skin made out of? Oh.
Why do you think we've been hiring so many people? No.
That's why Averin is now on the payroll. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
that makes more sense. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a ton of new skins coming, as always. So keep an eye out on socials and everything, and you'll see it.
Yep. And a whole bunch just came out recently. Like the past month, there's been the Witchlight skins. There's been some of the trial skins that have come out. I mean, I got Witchlight or Kira sitting up there. Not long.
Ones.
Yeah, all the Worm Speaker that I still have to unlock a couple of the trials. I am intentionally waiting on my next trials because I've got a friend who is their trials is starting. Today's Thursday, tomorrow, and so I'm intentionally waiting on starting a new trial so I can join them, and I'm going to try to get one of the two Worm Speakers that I'm still missing. So there's already a lot of skins out there right now that are brand new. So
and the gem shop is full of them too. If you don't want to purchase any through real money, the gem shop has a ton of skins you can purchase.
Yep.
Through gems, not through money. But...
Yep. There's
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually behind on buying some of these skins, but I've been buying other things with my gems. So,
yeah. Okay, so this is an important question from Guardian Blade that comes up quite a bit. So from a security standpoint, is it safe to use a site like this? They included a link, but we don't allow links in chat. That asks you to post your full support URL, which includes your user ID and your hash. So this comes up quite a bit with, like, the websites where you put in this information, you can access your champions, and you can open chests and do all this funky stuff with it that we don't allow in game. So these are third-party sites. We don't have control over this at all. We don't know how they're storing it and all that stuff. So in terms of safety, likely not, because the user ID and the hash are the keys to your front door of your account. You give those away, anybody can load up your account whenever they wanted and do whatever they want, right? So how those third-party sites are storing that stuff, we have no clue, because that's not part of us at all. So it is up to you as the user if you want to use those sites, knowing that there can be a risk to that. I'm not saying there is, because people have been using the sites for quite a while, but just know that we are not in control of that in any sort of way. If anything happens to your account in that way, we have nothing to do with it. So, yeah. So just know that It comes up a lot. People ask for their hash and stuff through tickets a bunch, and it's the same answer. It's like Codename is not responsible for what happens to your account if you use those sites. Simple enough.
On a broader scale, I mean, that is all super important, but on a broader scale, if what's happened in the last couple of days on Twitch has been a reminder for anything,
Yes.
it is update your passwords, keep your passwords safe, have two-factor authentication on all of your stuff, especially since a lot of you are probably logged in through Steam or Epic or, wherever you are, and possibly have either a credit card or a PayPal or something linked to that so that you can buy stuff through that platform. Make sure that is secure. If you haven't updated that password in a while, go ahead and update it. I personally use password managers to help with all of that so that I make sure that all of my passwords are unique and the really hard to guess ones that are not just words and phrases from my childhood. Whatever it is that you use, whatever it is that you do, take this as a moment and a reminder that some of that stuff is really important, and changing your passwords on a regular basis, having a two-factor authentication, having ways of doing that recovery safely, and just being a little careful is really, really important. And we want your account to be safe. We want you to be able to continue to play safely. And that's really the best way to go about it. So hey, if you haven't changed your password to any of your online gaming stuff recently, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and update that. Go ahead and update your Twitch password. Go ahead and update all those passwords. It can never hurt, and it can only help save you a lot of heartache and headaches when and if something bad happens.
Yeah, exactly.
This has been your
PSA.
password PSA for today.
Yeah.
Yes, we've talked about this a couple times
the
this
Twitch
week.
thing can say anything. It's like it's to show that even big companies like this can this happen. What's to say about the tiny one-man team who's running these websites? Like, it's probably 10 times easier to get into those things than just to get into Twitch. So, yeah, I don't want to scare people, but just please don't give out your information to third-party sites. You don't know this stuff, right? So,
and I think, yeah, we're not trying to scare people. This is not like a doom and gloom kind of thing. The good thing about all of this is it's fairly simple to do. Changing your password should be pretty easy. Two-factor authentication in most cases, any of the places that have it are just going to send either a text message to your phone, or there's an authenticator app that's pretty easy to set up. They're all pretty standard nowadays. So, and it's not like this is something that is this is something you should be worried about, but this is not one of those like doom and gloom and you're going to get hacked right now. No, just take some time. Be careful about it, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Guardian Blade had a follow-up question that was saying, can the hash be updated by reset by logging in and out? I don't believe so. I believe the hash is just a one string that is permanent. That is the key, right? If the user ID is the kind of like the number of your house, the hash is the key to the house. We likely have a way to update it on our end. I'm not 100% sure on that, but to my knowledge, the hash does not update each time you log in or log out. So,
also, thank you, Sequoia01, for subscribing. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
All right, doom and gloom over. All right.
it's not doom and gloom. Here's the thing, like it's serious stuff, but it's because we care about your privacy, about your financial security, and that it sucks when those kinds of things happen. And so we want you to be able to go into this weekend knowing that, hey, all of my stuff is as secure as I can make it, and I can go ahead and just work on grinding as many Dahani chests as I can because, oh my God, Murder Bird.
Murder Bird, yeah.
Murder Bird.
All right, Flanagan has a question. How does the affiliation affect the characters? Can there be more of one in the team? Yes, so a lot of affiliations have like groupings together. Heroes of Eris is a good example. If they're all in the formation, they all provide a pool to like a community buff to give everybody, which is great. The Dark Order, which is Archon, Torgar, and Krull, all provides like the Torgar and Krull both provide buffs to Archon because they're all part of the same team. Heroes of the Plains has a bunch of stuff together. I think if you have a Lindra in, you get buffs based off a bunch of things too. So we try to make the team with synergy work very well, right? So Um, Kiwi Mischief. If you have a time gate open, should you go for max favor or just grab what you need and close it?
Ooh.
That's up to you, really.
Yeah. It's kind of up
Like,
to you, and it's up to what you're trying to do. Because if you're just trying to grab a couple of chests and get out of there, maybe to open up another time gate, then yeah, just grab what you need and go. But,
Yeah.
being able to convert that favor somewhere else can be really useful. It's like,
Yeah.
two birds, one stone. Bunch
Yeah.
of chests, and a bunch of favor.
Yeah, if you're like close to getting a blessing, let's say, yeah, like put the little bit of effort into it to do the deep runs, get a bunch of favor, and then do that. Yeah, it's probably the best. Ouchie Bug, is there any plans on increasing the number of slots? Slot 13.
Oh, the mythical slot
The
13.
mythical slot 13, yeah. We don't have any plans to upgrade the number of slots. There's been an ongoing joke that we have we'll have a slot 13 at some point, but who knows? We don't have any plans for it right now.
No baker's dozen for us at the moment.
Yeah, no big dozen. I think a slot reshuffle would be very interesting.
Ooh.
If everyone's got changed slots, that I think that would be a great variant. Very difficult to create, but I think that would be a hilarious variant where each time you played it, the slots were completely shuffled.
Okay. As a specific variant, absolutely. I think that could be a lot of fun and really interesting.
Yeah.
I thought for a moment you were talking about like a permanent slot shuffle, and I'm like, we already talked about how difficult it is just to slot champions into wherever they go in. Like, to then do a reshuffle.
Yeah, to adjust everything. Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be a lot of fun.
That fun in quotes.
Yeah, fun for me who doesn't have to deal with that. All right, that's not my job to do that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Vampire 337 slot shuffle as an April Fool's variant. All right, I'm gonna go my April Fool's rant. Here we go. First off, I think that's funny. I agree. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with April Fools is that if you do something that people are not going to 100% enjoy, you're just making people mad. And I think if we shuffled all the slots on April 1st or on any day, especially, and not tell anybody, could you imagine? Could you imagine I'm getting ready for my trials run, and now you've shuffled all my slots, and the champions that I was planning on having, I can't have anymore?
Yeah. I think there was the last April Fool's thing I think we did in game was changing all the everything to a bumblebee.
Yeah.
Which is like we have a graphic that's pretty common that if something is missing, it gets replaced with a picture of a bee. So all the champions, all the portraits got turned into a bee, and people were so mad. Like, well, when the game's broken, everything's missing. Blah blah. It's like, oh my god, it's April Fool's. Like, so it's like we think it's funny to do, but people will obviously be like, well, what's going on? Like the perfect example actually is happening right now. If you hit escape, Lauren, show the version number. We have gotten 3 tickets about that version not found. 404.
Yeah.
Little harmless joke. Haha, 404, site not found, very funny. Dev humor. We've gotten tickets and like concerns, and like I've been DM'd like, hey, my game says version not found. Is this okay? And it's like, this is a joke. So it's like what seems harmless.
Yeah, I am not a fan of April Fools in general. The past year, what we basically did for April Fools is we played a joke on ourselves, and then we gave away a bunch of stuff. Which
it's a fun way to do it.
Yeah. We just had a lot of fun with it, and we had some harmless fun, and it didn't affect anybody else. But yeah, I think I think Vampire 337 is correct. Yeah, the backlash might make Sean quit, and we love Sean. We don't want him to quit. So I agree.
Yeah. OG17 a good point. Actually, I didn't know this part was that apparently all the texting games were replaced by buzz, like this buzz like a bee. Which I think that's hilarious, but I get that it would make the game unplayable.
Yeah, and if you don't know about April Fools, like April Fools is also one of those things that's very culturally specific, and there are a lot of places that play this game that have no idea what April Fools is,
Yeah.
And even places that do forget until it's April 1st. So if you just see something weird in the game, then yeah, why wouldn't you think, oh, whoopsie?
Well, April Fool's Day is also supposed to end at like noon. Anything after that is not a fun April Fool's anymore. It's like you've gone past the point. So
Okay, but noon, what time zone?
that's true. Well, I
Like,
guess for us it'd be noon Pacific, right? So
yeah, but welcome to the internet world where,
yeah,
if you're on the East Coast, does that mean that you're supposed to end on the East? Yeah. Oh, April Fools.
yeah. I get it. Yeah. That's the greatest way to think of it. Okay. Yeah, fun things for April Fools is great. Things that can make run someone's day more difficult, not great. Exactly.
Exactly, Garwar. There's I've just
Just
lost
a prank, bro.
Yeah, pranks I don't find pranks in general fun. The April Fool stuff that I have found fun are the things, and toot our own horn. What we did for April Fools, which ended up just being silly fun that was obviously a joke that everybody got stuff out of it, or things like some of the businesses that'll put out a fake product, but now they know that sometimes they have to be ready to make that product real. Like stuff like that, in where I'm trying to remember, there's a company like ThinkGeek or something that every year puts out a fake product, but at this point they just know that people are going to buy it. Like they put out the Tauntaun sleeping bag.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Like fun things like that if it wasn't April Fool's, people would still enjoy. I think those are okay. So yeah, it's the idea of a prank, a joke. The person that you are joking should be in on the joke.
Yeah. The last prank I pulled was my friend had just come home. Our roommate had just come home from basic training for the Navy. And to celebrate him coming home, we filled his bedroom full of balloons. So when he opens the door, the balloons just like cascade out. And he just goes, "Oh my god!" He just takes his backpack off and just throws it in the balloons. And for the next like 5 minutes, all he hears is like pop, 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 pop.
I mean, that could be fun. As long as you're not afraid of balloon popping, that could be a fun
Oh yeah,
thing.
he popped enough to be able to get to bed, and the next day all you hear for all day was like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, if you're not afraid of popping balloons, then that can be very cathartic. That could be like if you get bubble wrap and you pop the bubble wrap. That's semi appealing to a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah, and we also after that he went away for like a 3-month trip in the Navy. Came back, we put googly eyes all over his room, and like on his coffee pot, on the monitor at the top part of his monitor, his computer. In like the top part of the closets, when you open it up, it'd just be staring at you, like on the doorknobs, like everywhere we could find. We just put like googly eyes. Then we bought 2 like really big ones and put it on his pillow. Didn't stick it to the pillow, but just like laid it on the pillow.
Right.
Yeah. But he's moved out since, and we've still found googly eyes around the place that we forgot about.
Of course.
Yeah, it's been
also, great. Garwar mentions that we have Spurt in game because of April Fools. I think Spurt is a really good example of a good April Fool's joke that we were prepared for, that then everybody enjoys. So yeah, there are things to think about when you're doing that kind of prank.
Yeah.
Also Spurt.
Nan Breadloaf, will there be a final adventure in Waterdeep similar to TOA, and is that info something that can be shared at this time? I think Waterdeep is done.
Is it?
Yeah, because whenever we give out the what's it called, the Evergreen, that's about the time it's finished, and we've given it Olkoria. That's it. I'm mixed up a bunch.
We've got Olkoria, Orkira, and Oriza.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Olkoria is kind of the ending point of the campaigns. Same with Dragonbait in TOA, Rhea, I think in Descent. So I think we might add variants to Waterdeep, but no other like major adventures. I think TOA is like 100% done though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip ahead to this question just because it's gonna be fun to say. Profiz76, how do you say Dritz?
Dritz.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That is one of those things. I believe the actual author who created Dritz Duorden is one of those people who's like, hey, however you pronounce it is how you pronounce it. So
They're gonna say it's like the guy who created the GIF called it GIF. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, you can be wrong, but
no. I think the author has come out multiple times and said like, however you pronounce it is fine.
Okay.
But it seems like most of the people in D&D who are responsible for creating content that includes that character say Drixt.
Yeah. Octises has a question: is there any way except chests to get flasks to boost speed, golds, and other stuff? This is about the only way. You can purchase some in the patron shops, the patron currency. As Lauren is showcasing, yeah, so you can get a couple there. They'll reset every week, so you can always buy them from there. Other than that, it's that and chests. Dr. Ham Nisa, is there a way to at least lock familiars and champions so when clicking I don't move them? It's frustrating. There is no way to do that currently. I don't think we have any plans to change that either.
And we're in our final half hour of community Q&A.
Stretch.
Yay! Oh yeah, it is time to stretch, drink some water.
Get it good.
I've been sitting for 30 minutes. I have a sit-stand desk. I should take this opportunity to do the standing part of the sit-stand desk and just watch the whole thing rise.
Yeah, one of our devs has a sit-stand desk, but rather than a crank, he's got a drill attached to it. So he goes, and his desk goes, woo.
Oh damn, that's super fast.
Super loud.
But that's gotta be super fast. Like mine is an automatic, but it's not quick. But I mean it's not slow. I'm not gonna say that it's super slow. It's not like I have to stand here for 5 minutes waiting. But
is it electric or is it like a hand crank one?
It's an electric.
Oh, okay. The ones we have here are hand cranked.
Oh, okay. I mean, the good news about the hand cranked ones is that they do tend to last longer. Eventually, the motor on this one will burn out faster than your hand cranked ones. But yeah, when I splurged on this desk a couple of years ago, I went for the electric one because I was like, I need to be able to press a button and walk away. I need to like press the button and like go do something else, or not have to sit here and do the cranking thing. So
does it have like preset like standards? Like,
yep.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay.
Well, now I got to do this. All right, so you ready? So this is setting 1. Most of the time, I am here. When you see
this is you sitting, right?
This is me sitting.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go. Oh, there it goes. Okay,
now I'll stand.
The real question here is the desk getting higher, or are you just shrinking down?
Well, I mean, I could lie and say both, but you can watch the background happen. So this is setting 2, which is the standing version. And when you can now see
a shelf and you do the fake walking down the stairs.
do.
Exactly like that, yeah.
So there we go.
Love it.
Now is the time in these last 30 minutes and where if you have a sit-stand desk, please stand up. Also, welcome to all of the people who have joined us directly from the game. Please go grab your Just Code. And if you have any questions in chat, we're going to try to blitz through a bunch more of these. Thank you to Martin for grabbing them and sticking them in our backstage document for us. We really appreciate it.
Will the real L champions please stand up? Donnie P 2020, what are the most profitable goal find character combinations? I think the common ones is like a lawful build, like a lawful group with like Eliwick, Dragon Baits, but then you throw in Jarlaxle, Omen. Who else?
I'm gonna rep Ishii again. I think Ishii's really, really good and does some good gold find.
You're supposed to add Beetle and Baloth for them to do one attack, and then you pull them out because their gold buff will stick on the thing. Donar as well. That same attack once to get the gold buff on there. And then fill in with like Chambers of the Hall afterward, which I think is the way to go.
Oh, also, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Cassius335, strong core bot. Hey! Congratulations.
Set up and flex. We Mischief. So does every event have new champions being introduced? Or are they mostly recycled? Every event will have one new champion.
Yep. So, for example...
A newly released one. Yeah.
Yep. So we've got High Harvestide going on right now. Puent and Torgar were our previous 2 champions, and Dahani is brand new for this year.
It's our years, yeah. So Dahani's our year 5 champion, and Torgar year 4, Puent year 3. So just getting ready to fight.
Get yourself a murder bird.
Yeah, murder bird.
I love Dahani so much.
Question: the patron challenge as blank as your twice total damage dealing only shows which champion it currently is. Can you also get the corresponding DPS value that needs to be surpassed to be the top DPS? Oh, then show numbers. Possibly that could be a good quality life thing to add on. Infinite money to be used a third party site. Is the way to change our account? We answered that one with the third party stuff.
Yep, and Kiwi Mischief is in chat talking about I got all 3 as new champs for me, but still catching up with all the old ones. Yeah, that's where the time gates come in really helpful. So
yes.
If you are newer to the game, or if you've missed out on a previous champion and you're trying to catch them all, then yes, time gates are super helpful. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that we offer the previous 2 champions in the game when we're doing an event, so that you have a chance to catch up. Mm-hmm. I'm getting close to my wall, by the way. Like, we're starting to get there. I'm not there quite yet, but
it is slowing down a bit from what I've seen.
Yeah. It definitely depends on which ults are going off and
this might actually be your wall right now because no one's dying.
Well, they'll die, but it's like.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Orkira.
I was about to say, Orkira's gonna get angry.
Yeah.
And drop some fire and call on her god, and then things will be better. But yeah, I'm getting pretty close to a wall here, so I may have to do some changes. Baloth may have to come out of retirement.
Next question. One in breath. Have you ever thought of or tried reaching out to Ufada or Cleo, etc. to create their sites from functionality to see its official offering? Well, if we do something, we want to have it through our own systems. The things that they put out are things we want to put in the game, like all the stats and all the kind of the fun stuff there. We've had some internal talks about things like that, but nothing that's really stuck. And we're before we add any extra stuff like this, we want to make sure the game is in a stable position and so we don't get a million tickets a day. People being like, offline progress isn't working, right? So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now before any sort of extra stuff like that. So
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit to Dirty Toes B. Question: any chance you will do some Dimension 20 champions? Any of the groups that we work with are we haven't announced anything yet. I love Dimension 20. I think that crew, all the different shows that they've had on there is great. Brendan Lee Mulligan is wonderful, and they've recently had a Bria Iyengar as a DM, and a lot of the players there are playing some amazing characters. We've got nothing to announce right now. We do tend to normally announce champions basically one at a time, and so this is going to blend into Onyx Squared's question about, hi, please remind me how I can tell what champions are coming in the next event. Thanks. So for new champions, we tend to announce them on kind of a regular basis. And so we're focused on Dahani right now. Dahani's event is going to end on Monday. And next week will be an announcement of the next champion to come out. There'll be a champion spotlight and a whole bunch of information about that new champion. So we
Pancakes, most likely.
Pancakes. Pancakes are a good way. If you come to Griddle Champions on Fridays when that happens. But so that happens after each event. The Friday before the next event is usually when the new champion spotlight is out. Now, we did do, this was a couple months ago at this point, we did do a stream on the Epic channel in where we did something we almost never do, which is we teased a whole bunch of information and a bunch of new champions and a bunch of new things, a lot of which has now happened, but you can find that information out there. So there's still a couple of champions that were teased in that stream that haven't happened yet. But most of the cases with new champions coming out, you'll find out about who they are the week before. And we do that intentionally so that we're focused on one champion at a time to give them some time to shine, and so that people aren't thinking about multiple champions and content creators at the same time. As for older champions, there are lists out there. You can find them on the Discord, on Reddit, and a bunch of different places. If you're wondering, hey, what is the next event and who are those champions that are the older champions, to make sure that you set up your time gate so that you're not grabbing one of those champions, which is a really reasonable thing to do, you can go ahead and look that up. So that's kind of the cadence.
The Idle Champions fandom wiki is great. I use it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so you can check their event page there, and it'll like High Harvest Tide. Here's all the champions that have been High Harvest Tide.
Yep.
And just know it's the most it'll be like the year 5, year 4, and year 3 will be what is in the event.
Yep. And also come to our Discord if you ever have those kind of questions and you're unsure where to look or where to find that information, or you're just like, I don't want to go searching for it. I'm just going to ask real quick in the Discord. Hey, like Garwar just put into chat, which is Averin and Esmeralda returning for Liar's Night. So there you go. That is super helpful. So I hope that helps, especially for some of our newer players who are wondering about getting some of these other champions.
Baron Ugly has a question about slot 13. I am bummed that I can't have formation with Penelope and Zorba. I think they would like each other. I feel like they're a little bit opposite, but they might be. Opposites attract.
I mean, Penelope's everyone's friend.
Yeah, that's true. Any chance Cine could develop a 13th seat that would be taken up during the adventure by any owned champion to allow formation with 2 champions from the same permanent seats? For example, Penelope and Zorbu, Point and Xander, Ashara and Shandy.
Everyone wants this 13th slot. Everybody is all excited about Baker's Dozen.
Joke about it once and then keep brought up, and that's our own fault.
Mm-hmm.
Likely not. I think if we fit a slot 13, it will probably. I think it's a neat idea. There's always been like, what if we added slot 13? What would we do with it? I think like Garwar had mentioned, like we have a slot 13, which is like an Elminist or like one of those like tier 10 top S tier champions that like are so strong they actually don't go in the formation, but when you level them up in the slot, you get bonuses to your party because they're so immensely powerful. I've always liked the idea of a champion that takes up multiple slots based on how strong they are. So if like someone in the Elminster would take up maybe 3 slots because they are just themselves so strong. And there's no F13 on the keyboard to level up the 13th slot. So
all right, I've officially tried to swap Nerys with Baloth, and Nerys is offering a bigger buff. So
really?
Yeah, well. My Nerys is pretty well leveled. While I've got more shiny on Baloth, but their gear levels I don't think are as quite as high. So, but yeah, I just did the swap. We'll try it again here now that we're not on a boss level. Yeah.
Use Baloth's ultimate.
Oh, you're talking about like hot swapping at this point?
No, because Baloth's ultimate increases stacks, but yeah, it looks like your Baloth does not have the same item levels as Nerys does. Yeah. So this is especially a cool example of like Baloth is generally considered a top tier champion. But if you have champions that have a better gear score or better eye level, then use them rather than the top tier, right?
Yeah.
If they don't match up. So
yep. It was worth a try, but I don't want to get into too much of the active play. I am not
you don't
only...
want a Baloth stack? Come on.
No. I don't. Yeah. I mean, we've only got 15 minutes left in the show, and also like, you know what? If I've hit my wall, it's fine. I specifically did it. So we're here in Icewind Dale, which I don't have the greatest favor in. So like, if I really wanted to push my wall, I'd do it in like Grand Tour. I'd go somewhere there. I was kind of here, and I'm like, I'll give this a try because I got to finish Netherese Necropolis anyway. So, But you know what? For keeping this and not really paying attention to it very much and not doing any active play, getting a 700, I'm pretty happy with that. So
yeah. What bonds do you have in Ashara right now?
It's Potpourri.
Potpourri, and do you have Half-Blood?
I believe so. No, I got Short Folk. Well, because I've got Freely and Human, and I was thinking about...
If you change it to Half-Blood, you'll get the bonus from Paragon of Curse of Ball.
All right, I'll do Potpourri and Half-Bloods. Yeah. All right, that gets me a couple more points. Let's keep that going while we answer some last questions.
That should get you a better damage buff.
Yeah.
Nan Breadloaf, not a number Breadloaf. In that case, will there be a final variant with Mojon chests like TOA? Most likely. Not 100%. That was kind of a fun thing we did. I don't know if we'll probably likely do it again, but I'm not sure when and where. And Friendly Siwu, are there any plans in the future to allow us to view freely stacks on an enemy? Also, is there a max stack number for freely? There already is a way to see it. It's a bit weird though, because freely stacks work as a shield, and things get added to it. I think it's a max of 4 lucky. I think it's 4 lucky breaks, 3 or 4. I think that's how you view them. So it's not like a number or anything like that. But so each lucky break does a certain thing. Like you see how like some of those monsters have shields on them.
You're trying to show something off, and I'm just like,
shield,
let's look at freely.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at freely, you can see it under the like I think it's lucky break or unlucky for them. The lucky and Dala. Yeah, they each do different things. So I guess they can stack on themselves too, right? Stacks multiplicatively. Enchantments. Yeah. Huh. I guess you do stack on top of that. Neat. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea to add in something like that you can see the numbers.
It's always a hard thing to try to decide how much information versus too much information. And it feels like when you say too much information, there's no such thing. But like a lot of that nitty-gritty detail, once you dive down into it, it just gets complicated. And as we've seen with some of the more complicated champions, that turns into a wall of text. So it's finding the way to tell all of the pertinent information to help you make those decisions without turning it into I got to do a lot of reading. So, and we're always trying to update those. I mean, I know when Celise came out, because Celise had a lot going on, we were updating how we were presenting that information on her for a while. So, and Briv is a constant update.
Yeah. Mr. Jake Reed says, where does that max line come from on Ashara? If you open up Ashara again, I think they're talking about the combined upgrades. Yeah. So if on the bottom right, you get that there's the two arrows that are pointing up with the check mark you have there. What it does is it takes all the upgrades that are available for the champion and combines them into a better to view style or easy to view, so you can see how many of that upgrade you have left.
Which is the way I prefer looking at it.
You just have a huge list. Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer this, to be honest, for me. But I know a lot of people use the combined upgrades together.
Yeah.
So
I think both are useful in different situations. Because I am the type of player that's more of a passive player. I set it and forget it. I set it and come back in an hour. I prefer the combined upgrades because it's kind of it's a quicker way to take a look at everything and see what I've got going on. But certainly, if I'm taking more time, if I'm being way more granular, if I was going to sit here and do Baloth stacks or do the Orkira buffing or any of the stuff that requires you to be a little bit more active in your play, I'd probably want on this view so that I could get all of the specific stuff that's going on. But for me, having the more generalized view is really helpful.
Yeah, and you can kind of get the total there too. Like the self DPS upgrade there shows that Ashara's buffing herself by E16 damage, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of nice to see them all lumped together rather than 100, 100, 100, 100, 200, 100, 100, right? So
it depends on how much.
A lot of the clutter. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how much math you want to do and how granular you're getting into the game. And there's no right answer. It's just the right answer for you.
Yep, exactly. Dan SSJ4B, maybe the final advanced variant could give you 10 blood vials instead of Mojon chests to be more useful for the time. Yeah, actually that's a pretty good idea. I like that. Giving the vials of Tiamat blood to slightly help you with the trial stuff.
I know there's been a lot of people who've wanted to get access to more vials. So I think vials are the hot commodity right now.
It's the hot topic, yeah.
It's also the hot topic, and it's also a store where you can find Tiamat merchandise.
That's cool. I wish we had a Hot Topic, Victoria. Man.
Do you really though?
I love Hot Topic.
I liked Hot Topic back in my day when that was the only way you could get geek merchandise. But now there's so many better ways of doing it without having to go to the mall. I am also not a mall person.
Teenage me never had access to Hot Topic when I was in the full brunt of my emo phase.
Oh.
So I didn't have access to it. So Hot Topic got opened up in Vancouver not a couple years ago, and I just never had access to it as a teenager. So
see, I had plenty of access to Hot Topic as a teenager, and I was that teenager who was just like, this is how you can buy all the things, all the geek things that I can't get anywhere else, or band shirts.
Yeah, high schooler Sean did not have access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when you see online, everyone's like, Hot Topic's the best place for all this stuff. I'm like, but I can't get it. I can buy Converse downtown, and that's it. I
still remember the day that Red versus Blue merchandise ended up in Hot Topic, and I thought that was amazing. I'm like, I will buy directly from the company, sure, because I want to support them, but the people that I like, they've made it. Look, it was a sign. It was a sign, and then Critical Role merchandise ended up there, and now you can find anything. So
Yeah, we had a Spencer's. We had / have one. I think we still have one here in Victoria, but it felt like the budget Hot Topic. It wasn't the same, right? It's the brand was what I was looking for as a teenager.
Well, and I don't know about all Spencer's. Mr. Jared Reed is mentioning Spencer's Gifts. Spencer's Gifts, at least by me, was always, you say budget Hot Topic, and I say Hallmark for kids. Like you walked in and it was all like really cheap earrings and like, hey, I've just gone and gotten my ears pierced. Let me buy my first pair of earrings.
That's like Claire's.
Yeah,
Right
that's
here. I think
yeah.
because the Spencer's I'm talking about has a very adult side in the back.
Well, and I've seen those now, but like when I was growing up, Spencer's was still very much like, a kiddie store. So yeah.
Yeah. Spencer's must have changed. Spencer's grew up at some point then, yeah, because like the back half of the store was like, woof, very adult.
Well, no, I know that now, but like the ones where I was growing up, it was very much like, it was like a Claire's. It was, it was all kiddie stuff, or it was all like, they had like the joke books of like, here's buy a whoopee cushion, but it was all very, very tame. And then it was only years later where it was like, oh no, wait, I should be an adult if I come back here. Why is there not a beaded curtain up? I don't understand.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't ever get your ears pierced at Claire's. It is not safe and not sanitary.
Nah, don't get your ears pierced at the mall. Go
to a professional piercer.
Yeah.
Get it done there because they are trained to do it properly.
Go to a tattoo shop.
Oh, you go to a place that specializes in piercings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those like piercing guns are not sanitary in the slightest.
That being said, I did get my ears pierced at the mall because that was what everybody did in the 80s. Is you went to the little kiosk in the mall and it hurt and it sucked, but you did what you did.
That's where I got my first one, my first ear piercing done, and I took it out. Then I got my lip pierced in high school, but I had to take it out because I think I'm allergic to some sort of metal. So I had like a little packet of dead skin that just kept growing and growing off the back of my lip.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay, that's a. Yeah. Check that out. I went back to the piercer. I was like, "What's this?" And showed my lip. And they're like, "Whoa, that's not new. That's not supposed to happen."
Nope. Yeah, and I agree with Garwar. Yes, piercing shops, one with 5-star Yelp reviews, or you'll end up like that, infected and unhappy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
do your research.
It will cost a little bit more, but think about it this way: you are altering your body, and if it goes wrong, now you're sick. So. Yes. Yeah. Go spend the money on a place that has proper sanitation, especially right now.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Mm-hmm. I want to get more tattoos. I just have the one right now, but I want more.
I'm still waiting on getting my first one. I was all ready to go get my first one, and then the panini happened. So here we are. So at some point, I know what I want and where I want it, and
tell.
So I've.
I don't know.
So where I've wanted it has always been the same. And we'll answer one more question after this because we have to go soon. But so I've always wanted it on the inside of my right leg and just above my ankle. The reason is there's a couple of them. It's a fairly large enough canvas that I can have a place. It is a place that I can look at it because I don't want it like on my back or someplace where I can't enjoy it. It's on the inside of my leg so I can keep it hidden somewhat if I want to. And the really specific reason is it's going to sound weird. As an oboist, I make my own reeds, and when I do, there's a part of the process in where I'm sitting on the floor usually, or in a chair, and where I have my legs crossed in a specific way, and the inside of my right leg, the bottom part of my right leg, is the area of my leg I end up looking at. For reasons I'm not going to go into because it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's oboe things. And so having something nice and pretty right there would be very nice. So
what art piece are you going to do on it?
So that has changed a little bit. Luke had drawn for me a family crest style piece of art, which I'd used for my logo for a very long time, and he's done
that's cool.
a more recent version that is my current logo, which is the Phoenix and the Dragon around the oboe and the D20s, and that's what I want, except in color, and altered to. So I want his art, but I also understand that his art isn't necessary, and he understands this too. His art isn't necessarily drawn to be a tattoo. So what I want to do is take that piece of art and go to a shop and present it and say, this is what I want, but I want an artist who is excited to turn this into a piece that can be good for a tattoo, because there's things on skin that is different than putting on a piece of paper. And so I want to have that back and forth with a tattoo artist who is a specialist with drawing on skin. So that's what I want.
Yeah. My one piece is me and my sister share like kind of a dual piece where she has Tattle from Majora's Mask and I have Tail from Majora's Mask, which are the brother sister fairies. And then underneath it in Hylian is just family underneath it.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it's on my bottom right calf.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I was going to say one more question, but I think that we have to end on that because it's adorable.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing. So we have to stop so that Idle Insights can happen because Todd Kenrick is going to have an amazing interview with Latia Jaquise. So stick around for that. And then after that will be Developer Insights, where you can have more of your questions answered by the developers of this game. But until then, thank you, Sean, for joining me.
Always.
Thank you, Martin, for being awesome and grabbing all of the stuff from chat. Thank you, chat, for being awesome and hanging out with us and talking about candy. And we will see you next encounter. Bye.
Bye. See you guys tomorrow. Pancakes.